Mum, I've brought you a lovely cup of tea.
Oh, thank you, Lucy. Perfect.
It looks like rain, dear.
Dad joke.
Oh, hello, boys and girls, mums and dads. Would you like me to read you a story? You would? Well, of course I will. Which story would you like? What's that, you say? The Confectionery Nativity? Well, all right then. Here it is. Are you sitting comfortably? And I'll begin. It was late in the evening in Nazareth, a small town in Palestine. What's the time? Asked Mary. It's after 8, replied Joseph. Time for me to go. I've got a busy day tomorrow in the carpenter's shop. Joseph, before you go, Mary whispered. Yes? I've got something to tell you. What's that, my dear? I'm in the club. What? How? We've never even... Have you been having a twirl with the milkman? No, honest, it was an angel. At first, Joseph was angry, but then he became kinder. That's all right, my love heart. We'd better get married then as soon as possible. We've got to go to Bethlehem anyway to be counted. Soon after, Mary and Joseph set out. The snow was crunchy underfoot as they set off. After stopping for a picnic on the way, they arrived at Bethlehem late in the evening. They tried every quality street in the town, but there was nowhere to stay except a rather flaky outhouse behind a pub. It wasn't exactly a well-known hotel, but still, they settled down for the night. This'll do fine, said Joseph, as he nestled down in the hay. Roll over and make room for me. That night, their baby was born. Right, said Joseph. Now we've got to choose a name. No, we haven't, said Mary. The angel told me that his name must be Jesus. Okay, said Joseph. I like that name. Look at him. He's such a little poppet. Meanwhile, out on the hillside, some shepherds were looking after their sheep, when suddenly they heard tunes in the sky. Angels appeared and told them to hurry down to Bethlehem, declaring that the Messiah had been born. Wait a minute, said one of the shepherds as they travelled through the desert. What's that penguin doing here? No idea, replied another. It must have wandered in from another story. By gum, said the shepherds, as they rushed to join the revels. Far away in the east, wise men were observing the galaxy. Suddenly, on the edge of the Milky Way, a new star burst onto their sight. They followed the star, but before they got to Bethlehem, they had to go to Jerusalem to visit the king, King Herod. King Herod was getting his Snickers in a twist because he was jealous of the newborn king. It's all humbug, said Herod. He was determined to torpedo the Messiah story. He tried to discredit the wise men, calling them Maltesers. He asked them to tell him where Jesus was, but they realised that he was up to his old tricks again, so they decided not to tell him. Instead, they hurried on to Bethlehem, singing, Haribo, 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 and they found the baby Jesus lying in the manger. They knelt down to offer him their bounty of gold and some other things as well. Since that night, 2,000 years ago, hundreds and thousands of people have had an encounter with Jesus which has changed their lives. He was born so that all sorts of people might know about God's love for them. His followers have found him to be a refresher when life is dull and a boost when life is difficult. The baby of Bethlehem was a miniature hero who would grow up to be the saviour of the world. And that, surely, is a cause for celebration. Right, let's watch it.
Daddy, you were so funny. I couldn't stop laughing, but I was laughing
You
very
were very
quietly.
discreet.